friends. So today I thought I would take some time and talk about microdosing and psilocybin. It's something that I've been looking into for a while. I know that a couple months back I had briefly brought up the topic of ayahuasca, and I had a very disappointing point of contact with a place that I actually had looked at for a place like a beacon of exploration for many years, Rhythmia in Costa Rica. I was expecting more, I don't know, their website and their reputation is based all around physician assistants and science, as well as just the history of the benefits of ayahuasca. And when I was calling in, it felt like they were trying to sell me on some sort of specialized spa weekend, and like that's not what I'm after in sense of personal relief with addressing things with mental health. And to be quite honest, as the years have gone on, if someone told me I had to stay on a cot in the shack in the middle of the woods for whatever this be all end all to the cure for PTSD would be, I would go stay in the shack in the middle of the woods with absolutely no amenities or perks in pursuit of, better sense of wellness. So, my therapist and I have been talking about psilocybin. Well, we've been specifically talking about microdosing and the benefits of LSD or DMT or mescaline. I might be pronouncing mescaline incorrectly. We don't talk about that a whole lot. But psilocybin is something that has been put on my radar. And after this election cycle, one of the things that has changed that I'm very curious about is in the Pacific Northwest are leaders on progressive causes. The state of Oregon just decriminalized the possession of illegal substances, and which there's all kinds of nuance to the laws and what that means, and then there's obviously going to be economic structuring around how people do access a lot of drugs that were previously illegal to them, and all kinds of nuanced conversations and confusion as that's sorted out. But in the meantime, there are places in the world where this science is forefront and it's acted on, and it has been already established for people to intersect with for their own wellness and betterment. And I came across Synthesis in the Netherlands that I think I'm going to look into as far as building like a workshop type of betterment retreat that I had in my mind about what ayahuasca potentially could be for me in a tool or a resource to really bring me a little bit further along in a sense of healing and wellness. And I've also mentioned that with this upcoming year, a lot of these vlogs are going to be a lot of planning and structuring for the year to come. So I thought that today would be a great place to start with just walking you through what I've been specifically looking at, why in particular I have landed on this particular company and organization. And I thought maybe I'd also try to explore a little bit of a phone call and to share what that experience is like. All right, so let's give them a call. All right, so that turned out to actually be a dead-end call, and they referred to the book a call part of their website. So let's just take a look at what this is. And very simple. Pick a date and time and complete a health screener. It's 5 minutes. Oh, they are booking out quite far. So why don't I pick a time? I'll do this off screen. So I've entered all my information for a callback. I also did the follow-up health screening, which was somewhat detailed, but also very repetitive. There's a point, if you guys end up doing this, where they ask sort of like the same question for each individual mental health concern. So if, for example, you check off that you have a history of both anxiety and depression, there's like concurrent information that runs to when you first experienced them and what you've done about them, which for a lot of us is pretty much the same stuff here with mainstream therapy in the United States. So and then it proceeds, it asks for just basically your history and what brought you to synthesis, retreat, and I guess since we're looking at the website right now, let's sort of explore their site a little bit. Oh, so maybe I should also talk about, so psilocybin is something that exists in fungi, and I think there's 200 varieties of fungi that have this, that grows naturally within them, and then as your body breaks it down, it turns it into psilocin. And it gives, and as I was talking about microdosing earlier with my therapist recently in the last couple of months of LSD, I'm gonna give this too many syllables. The psilocin, it is psilocin, sorry, and the psilocin works sort of similar to the effects of what you would get from microdosing with LSD. There's something that feels a little bit more akin to what I'm comfortable with is working with a proven, known practitioner that is trained and experienced on the topic. It's what makes me feel safe. Also, there's something about exploring a more of a natural aspect that has existed for a much longer period of time with history to back it, rather than new chemicals of just, beyond LSD, like new world creations that don't have quite the history to it. And obviously following the theme with plant-based year, this feels more and more like it's a fit for something that I'm going to be pursuing. Going back to the site, looking at the therapeutic potential of psilocybin, it looks like that they are referencing some research and talking about how they blend it with the craft of a retreat. Oh, here's a good place to sort of pause. So, can it cure depression? And I think that this is another thing that psilocybin was something that was used initially to explore alcohol use disorder and sort of correcting the addictive habits beyond that. And then they found, sort of like our mass prescriptioning of psychopharmaceuticals currently right now, where there's no definitive research that any one depression medication actually works to cure depression. It just seems to provide beneficial results in some people of what they're looking for, whereas others it doesn't work. So as to what that specifically is or how to pinpoint it for more accurate application for more curative measures, even in the pharmaceutical world, that's relatively unknown. But I like that it's sort of front-loaded. With the psilocybin here on the site, of talking about how there's a blend with history and respect of culture, but also there is some research that shows this. And I will cut to the fact of saying that there would be more research for this if it wasn't criminalized and we could put more funding towards researching it. So this could be something that unlocks a greater wealth of benefit to help advance people in their mental health struggles on just a variety of spectrums, or at least become another option for people to more freely explore if we know and have safe research that backs the use of this being used in a more mainstream fashion. So that's sort of lovely to see both the science and the culture that is blended here together. And if you go to the About Us portion of the site, you can see that they're very firm supporters in identifying that this is merely just a tool, and they support the continuation of traditional talk-based therapies or psychiatric support with a psychiatrist moving forward, and that this is just a tool in the tool belt for this area of mental health and resources. And they also seem to have built out quite a team of practitioners as well as mental health care practitioners. So this has just been a quick little video today, sort of introducing you to something that I am laying the groundwork for exploring in the year to come. And I will have to look forward to when my callback is, and I will record that and share that with you guys moving forward. And well, yeah, we'll see where this goes, and give you hopefully I can give you a real life insight as to what this looks like. And right now, I think for a lot of us, we know that there's got to be a starting point. So today, the starting point is this is Synthesis Retreat organization based in the Netherlands that focuses in psilocybin, and this is how you interact with initiating your potential future experience with them by just scheduling to book a call. So maybe an uneventful type of video content today, but it is going to go somewhere because, again, we're planting the seed for something to grow down the road. And yeah, so that's it. If anyone has had experience with synthesis and you maybe want to add insight as to what I should be thinking about in my conversation with them ahead, let me know down below. I would love to hear from you. Or if some of you have questions about this that I can maybe ask in my conversation ahead while talking about potentially booking a treatment weekend with them, let me know. I will pass that along, and I will share those questions in my next video on this topic. Yeah, so remember to grow from where you are, and I will share more with you soon. Cheers!